Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is me, Jordan Young, back with another bussin' banger. In today's Certified Hood Classic, I'm going to be taking you guys through my summer sneaker rotation. That's right, this is incredible content. You get to sit there and watch me talk about some shoes that I may or may not wear this summer. Brilliant! Now there is a little bit of irony in this video from my perspective. You see, I'm from Aotearoa, New Zealand. And in New Zealand, in the summertime, there really are only two options when it comes to the daily footwear of choice. One is bare feet, and the other is wearing jandals, which is basically half a step up from wearing bare feet. And of course, the other irony is that I live in London. I'm in the UK, where depending on the year, summer may or may not occur. Right, starting things off, we have the Air Max 1 Concepts collab. This is the Mellow colorway. Now, I have the entire pack. I bought them a couple of years ago when they first released, and my intention was to just put them away, keep them on ice, and then break them out once everybody had sort of forgotten about them or people had beaten up these pairs. And so I'm really looking forward to breaking these out. I feel like this is a really cool design, really exciting, bright, vibrant colorway. And I have been rocking and enjoying the Air Max 1 of late. As you can see here, I have been beating up this pair of OG 87s with the Volt midsole that came out a few weeks ago. And after you break them in, they are quite comfy. And so Air Max 1s, summertime, it's a staple. This colorway is wild and vibrant, and I think will definitely snap some necks. Next up, we have a pair of Mizunos. This is the Wave Rider Beta, and this is a really nice colorway. It's this grayscale stroke blue type colorway with the creamy midsole and the creamy laces. One thing that I really like about this particular model from Mizuno is they are really light and they are really cushiony. The only thing is you need to make sure you either go true to size or a half size up and allow a little bit of break-in time. But once you break these things in, man, they are really comfy. Now, one thing about my summer sneaker rotation that I wanted to try to implement is a bit of diversity, a little bit of everything from different types of sneakers as well as different types of brands. And so I really wanted to include this pair here. These are the Saucony Grid Shadow 2s, and this is the Creek Marsh colorway. I've featured these on the channel before. I've showed them off. I've worn them a whole bunch of times, and they are really comfortable. They're really light. I think this colorway is obviously quite floral and inspired by nature, so it's a great shoe for the summertime. And this pair here is actually on sale at the moment in the UK at a few different select retailers. So if you like the look of this shoe, Creek Marsh, Saucony Grid Shadow 2, easy to find these on sale right now. Next up, we have the Adidas Samba. These are the Clark's 8th Street Sambas, and these have become one of my favorite sneakers to rock casually with shorts or with long pants. The quality on this pair is really good, easy to slip on, easy to kick off. They're very comfy. The whole Clark's outsole, whilst it is a little bit of a nightmare to clean because these basically just soak up all of the dirt of the streets. If you're not really looking to spend a whole bunch of money on this particular collab, the regular inline Samba, in my opinion, is the ideal summer shoe. It's a low top, it's a flat shoe, they're available. There's whole bunches of colorways out there and available. And I know the Samba trend is pretty much fizzling out, but for me anyway, when the trend is fizzling out and the stuff is available, that's like the opportune time to get in on it, at least in my opinion. And so that's why I like rocking the Sambas out. Now, as you guys know, I am into my SBs. I love the older SBs. I love some of the newer SBs. And I think some particular colorways work better or have a bit more of a summer vibe to them than others. And I feel like these are bang on for the summer. These are the Halsey Leal SBs. These just came out quite recently, and a lot of people have been hating on this shoe simply because it's a sneaker associated with a young girl. I don't know where those insecurities or those projections are coming from, but if you look at the shoe just straight up for what it is, it's a really nice looking shoe. It's light colored. You've got some different types of materials, some nice striking color blocking contrasts with the liner and the swooshes. You've got the gum outsole. And if you're really caught up in these being a childish shoe, you can remove some of the touches, including the lace doubrés or chuck in a lace swap, and they look absolutely fine. Next up from my collection are the April SBs. I feel like this is a really awesome summer colorway with the sort of turbo green or the light greeny / bluey suede on the upper. And as we know, the translucent outsole can be a nightmare when they get wet and when they get dirty. You can see I've already kind of messed these up having worn them a couple of times. And so the drier, brighter winter, summer months give you a great opportunity to wear these without necessarily messing them up so much. Right, so in terms of running shoes for casual wear, I've got a few different suggestions here. First up, we have probably my favorite release of the year so far, and I'm not gonna lie, this is from an incredibly biased standpoint because this is a Maori sneaker. These are the Asics GT 2160 Ngāwari, inspired by Maori culture. If you guys wanted to check out my review on these, please do. I took the video whilst I was back home in Aotearoa recently. The video kind of tanked. I feel like maybe it's the shoe to blame, or maybe everyone out there is just being low-key racist jokes. But these have a wicked combination of materials, and they're really comfortable and lend themselves well, I think, to a nice casual look. Another Asics running shoe that I wanted to mention that has a slightly more old school aesthetic is the Gel Light 3. This particular shoe is the Evisu collab. But the thing that I like about the Gel Light 3 is they're just so easy to slip on, so easy to kick off. They look really good with shorts or with some jogging pants or some light trousers. And depending on the colorway you go for, obviously you can match up in a number of different ways. But I put these on the other day and wore them and thought, oh my gosh, why am I not wearing these more? They're so comfortable and they take barely any getting used to time. Last up for the running shoes are these, the Vomero 5s. I know this has become pretty much one of Nike's mainstays over the past couple of years, particularly with the Y2K running trend. But honestly, this shoe is really, really comfortable. Really light, really breathable. If you've got any kind of summer things going on where you're gonna be walking, you're gonna be meeting up with people, and generally being on foot for a long time, I feel like this is definitely a good shoe to consider. There are also a whole bunch of really nice looking colorways that are going on sale now, some leftover stock from last season. And so if you wanna pick up a pair of these on the cheap, you can definitely scour around the different retailers to scoop a cool pair up on sale right now. Last up from the runner selection, I decided to go for these. These are the Stepney Workers Clubs. This model is called the Amiel S Strike, and they kind of have a little bit of Jound 992 about them in this particular colorway, but there's a whole bunch of really cool models sitting on the Stepney Workers Club website. These do fit quite true to size, I found, and so if you have a wide foot, I'd recommend going half size up, but really light on foot, really easy to style. They kind of bridge the gap between athletic running shoe and casual shoe, and that segues into the next couple of sneakers that I've got. So the next two sneakers are what I want to call smart sneakers. Just really simple, really plain, good quality materials that you could probably get away with wearing in a somewhat semi-formal type situation. You know, when you might have to go to like a meeting or maybe some kind of barbecue event or some kind of an event where you don't want to be rocking Jordans and you don't want to be rocking some running shoes. You want to wear something that's a little bit smart. I feel like these both tick that box quite nicely. These are the No Two Ways formula. And this is obviously the all white colorway. I think they have a few different other colorways out there as well. These obviously just plain, clean, and white, but they have nice quality materials. They've got a nice, simple, sleek silhouette about them. They're very comfortable and luxurious feeling on foot. And I feel like if I was going to some kind of semi-formal event where I needed to look halfway respectable, I'd probably opt for something like this, as opposed to some of the other shoes I've already showcased. Another sneaker that has that same kind of vibe about them that I have already worn a couple of times and do really enjoy are the Pony City Wings Lows. These are really nice, soft, supple leather on the upper. They've got the gum outsole, sleek, low top design, pretty minimalistic. There's nothing too flash or fancy going on here. They just look like a tidy, smart shoe. Now, if you've been paying attention, you might be thinking, bro hasn't got any J's on the list. What's going on? You've got all those Jordans behind you. You've got all this heat behind you. Why aren't you talking about any Jordans? And I will say that given the right occasion and opportunity, of course I'm going to be drawing down from the J Bank and rocking some hype and some heat. But I feel like summertime isn't really a time for the bulky Jordans or the high top joints. Obviously with a few exceptions. One exception for sure for me have got to be these, the Jordan 3 UNC Blue. This to me is a real summertime Jordan. If you can't get a hold of the UNC 3s, another really good option potentially might be something like these, the craft joints that came out recently. I feel like a lot of people out there are sleeping on this shoe. The quality is really good. It's just a clean, easy to wear colorway. As you guys know, I'm also into my Nike basketball sneakers, particularly LeBron's and Kobe's. These are the LeBron 8 Low Miami Nights. And when this this shoe first came out, I think it was like around 2012 or 2011, 2012, around that era when Nike basketball was really popping off. This shoe right here was an absolute grail. I think they're really bright, I think they're really vibrant, I think they're really exciting. The low top LeBron 8 is a nice model to wear on foot casually in my opinion. I know obviously they're not going to be to everybody's taste because some people might look at these and think, bro, what are you wearing? What are you doing? It's not 2012 anymore, but I really like them. And also these are the LeBron 9 Low LeBron Old Palmers. Now, similar to the Miami Nights, when these came out back in the, well, actually, these never came out. They only ever existed in sample form. And so it was only celebrities or really high-key, high-end, well-off collectors that were able to get their hands on these types of pairs. Prices were through the roof. When they got retroed a couple of years ago, they flopped, they bricked, they even went on sale. But as you can see, I think this is probably the most summer colorway of all of the summer shoes I've shared in this episode. The bright yellow mixed with the orange and the green, it's giving very much Miami, Palm Beach energy. Not an easy shoe to style, I'll definitely grant that, but if you're like me and you can't style anything properly anyway, it really doesn't matter. You just wear something simple and let these do the talking. And that is it. These are some of the sneakers that I'm gonna be rocking out with this summer. Let me know what you guys think. I think there's a nice bit of variety, a nice little bit of versatility in there. I think there's a nice mixture of comfort mixed with style. Nothing too crazy overhyped. Not to say, of course, that I'm not gonna rock out with some of the hype bangers you can see behind me, but yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. Let me know what you guys thought of the episode down below in the comments. I always enjoy reading your comments. I really appreciate your engagement as well. Don't forget to like the video before you bounce, and I will see you guys on the next video. Take care for now, and peace.